Okay, so you know how everyone's talking about AI these days and what it's going to do to our jobs?
Yeah, it feels like every day there's a new headline about robots taking over.
Exactly. So we're doing a deep dive today to try to cut through all the hype, and figure out what's really going on with AI and how it's actually going to affect people like you and me.
And it turns out it's way more complicated than just robots are going to steal all our jobs.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was looking through all the research we have for this deep dive, and some of the examples are pretty wild. It's not just something that's going to happen in the future. Like, AI is already out there doing things right now.
For sure. It really is. It's like AI is doing three big things all at once, Like it's automating all kinds of tasks. It's creating all these new jobs that didn't even exist a few years ago. And it's totally changing what skills we need to like actually succeed in this new world of work.
So it's not just about learning how to code then. There's more to it than becoming a tech genius.
Oh yeah, way more. The research we've got paints a really interesting picture. I guess let's start with automation. That's like the thing everyone thinks of first, right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, totally.
Like we've got chatbots answering customer questions, AI algorithms are analyzing medical scans to like catch diseases early, and there are even robots on factory floors putting together products with, superhuman precision.
See, that's the part that always freaks me out a little, the robots. Like, what happens to all the people whose jobs those robots are doing?
Well, yeah, it's a natural concern.
Mm-hmm.
And the research definitely acknowledges that some jobs are going away, especially the ones that involve doing the same task over and over again. But it's not like a simple one-to-one replacement thing. It's not like
Yeah.
one robot equals one less human job.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah, so while some jobs are going away, AI is also creating new ones, jobs that never even existed before all this.
Okay, now that's where it gets really interesting. So, what are these brand new AI jobs? Tell me more.
Okay, well, think about this. An AI ethicist, that's a real job.
Whoa, what does an AI ethicist even do?
They make sure AI is used in a way that's fair and responsible. Then there are machine learning engineers. Those are the people who build the brains of the AI systems. Like they teach computers how to actually learn from data and make decisions, which is uh, insanely complicated stuff,
Wow, that is some next level stuff. And what about data privacy? I keep hearing about that with all this AI stuff.
right? Well, that's where data privacy specialists come in. They're the ones making sure all our personal information is protected and used responsibly, which is a huge deal these days. I mean, that's a whole field that's just exploded recently because of AI.
So it sounds like the job market isn't just shrinking, it's like changing into something totally new. It's actually kind of exciting when you think about it like that.
Yeah, and the key to being successful in this new world is, being able to adapt. The research really focuses on that. Like, it's not just about having specific technical skills, it's about being able to learn new things and even unlearn old stuff as things change.
So lifelong learning is more important
Yeah.
than ever then.
Exactly. And it's not just about like going back to school or doing online courses. It's about being curious and always wanting to learn new things and being okay with, changing the way you think about things.
I get it. But I'm not going to lie, all this talk about AI still feels a little intimidating. Like, where do you even start to get ready for such a big change?
It's a lot to wrap your head around, for
Mhm.
sure. But remember, AI is basically just a tool, right?
Right.
So it's really up to us to decide how we're going to use it. And we can choose to use it to create a future of work that's good for everyone, not just replaces people.
Right. So instead of being scared of the robots, we should be focusing on how we can use AI to help us work better, not harder, right? It's not about being replaced. It's about like making our jobs better.
Exactly. And one of the most surprising things I found when I was reading all this research was how important soft skills are becoming in the age of AI. Things like creativity and critical thinking and being able to communicate well and understand people's emotions.
Wait, really? I thought it was all about technical skills when it came to AI. That's actually kind of a relief to hear.
It is kind of wild, right?
Uh,
But it turns out that these are the things that AI can't do. Like machines can process information and follow rules, but they can't think outside the box or come up with new ideas or, actually connect with people on an emotional level. So those are the skills that are going to be super valuable in the future.
Okay, so even in a world where AI is doing more and more, it's still our human skills that are going to set us apart. So, how do we make sure people are actually developing those skills? I mean, it can't just be about individual workers, right? Don't businesses and schools have a role to play here, too?
Oh, definitely. It's a total team effort. We need to rethink how we approach education and training, like at every level. Schools need to be teaching kids how to be creative and think critically and solve problems. And businesses need to invest in training their employees and helping them learn new skills.
So it's not just about learning how to code, it's about learning how to think and adapt and like be human in a world that's getting more and more automated. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and it's a message that we need to be shouting from the rooftops. We need to be proactive about this stuff and get ready for the changes that are coming, because AI is coming whether we like it or not. So let's at least try to make sure we're using it to create a good future.
I like that. Instead of being scared, let's try to take advantage of all this and make something good out of it.
Exactly. One of the things that really jumped out at me while I was going through all this research was just how many different industries AI is already affecting.
Hmm.
It's not just like, tech companies or factories.
Really?
Yeah, it's everywhere, like healthcare, finance, even education, and creative fields like music and art.
So it's not just replacing factory workers then. It's like reaching into all kinds of jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Take healthcare, for example. AI is being used to look at medical images like x-rays and stuff, and it can help doctors find diseases way earlier than they could before. And it's even more accurate than humans sometimes.
Wow, that's crazy. It's like AI is a doctor itself.
And get this, there are even AI-powered robots that can assist surgeons during surgery.
Ooh, robot surgeons.
Yeah, and they can do some really complex stuff, and it means patients recover faster and have fewer complications.
That's amazing. But what about fields like, say, law? Can AI really replace a human lawyer?
It's not really about replacing jobs altogether. It's more about, like, making people better at their jobs, augmenting their skills. Like, in law, AI can be used to analyze tons of legal documents way faster than a human could.
Oh, so it's like a superpowered research assistant?
Kinda, yeah.
That makes sense.
And it frees up the lawyers to focus on, the more creative and strategic parts of their job, like building a case and advising clients.
Okay, so it's like AI handles the boring stuff, the grunt work, so the humans can use their brains for the higher level stuff.
Exactly. And that's the same in a lot of different industries.
Right.
Like in finance, AI is being used to spot fraudulent transactions, like when someone's trying to use a stolen credit card. And it can analyze stock market trends and even give people personalized financial advice.
It can even be a financial advisor. Wow.
And in education, there are AI-powered tutoring systems that can, like, adjust to each student's needs and create a custom learning plan for them.
That's actually really cool. So maybe instead of being afraid of AI taking our jobs, we should be thinking about how it can actually help us do our jobs better, right?
Exactly. It's about using AI to make work better, faster, more efficient.
Like a tool that can help us have more impact.
Yeah, exactly. Like a really powerful tool. And the research we've got really emphasizes this point that AI isn't here to destroy jobs. It's here to transform them.
So then transform them how?
Well, it's all about creating a future where humans and machines work together, as a team, like using each other's strengths to get stuff done that neither one of us could do alone.
I like that. A human-machine dream team.
Haha, exactly.
But isn't there a risk that, this whole AI thing could make things worse for people who are already struggling? Like, what if only certain people have access to the education and training they need to thrive in this AI-powered world?
Oh, for sure. That's a huge concern. And actually, the research talks about that quite a bit. It emphasizes how important it is that everyone has equal access to training and education, regardless of their background.
Yeah, that makes sense. We don't want to create a world where only the wealthy or privileged can benefit from AI.
Exactly. Everyone should have the opportunity to develop the skills they need to thrive in this new world of work.
So we're talking about a pretty major shift in like our whole society then. It's not just about individuals adapting, it's about governments and schools and businesses all working together to create a more level playing field.
Yeah, 100%. It's got to be a team effort. Like, we need to invest in training programs that are affordable, and we need to make sure that everyone, everywhere, has a basic understanding of digital technology and, like, how to use it.
So we're talking about digital literacy being like a basic skill everyone needs to have.
Yeah, just like reading and writing. And, we need to create policies and support systems to help people transition to these new kinds of jobs.
Wow, this is big. This conversation has really opened my eyes. I'm starting to see how AI isn't just about technology, it's about people, right? It's about how we adapt, how we learn, and how we work together to make sure everyone benefits.
Yeah, you got it. That's exactly the point. It's not about being scared of robots. It's about understanding how this technology can be used to create a better future for everyone.
It's about making sure this technology is used for good.
That's the goal. Yeah.
As we've been talking about all these changes and how AI is affecting different jobs, it's made me realize something kind of important.
Oh, what's that?
This whole AI thing, it's not really just about, robots and algorithms and stuff. It's about us. Like, it's about how we as humans adapt and learn new things and change our, mindsets to be successful in a world where everything's changing so fast.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's something that comes up a lot in the research we've been looking at. Like, the future isn't set in stone. It really depends on the choices we make right now.
So it's not about just sitting back and waiting to see what happens. It's about actually taking control and making the future we want.
Exactly. We can actually have a say in how AI is developed and how it's used.
Hmm.
We can, push for ethical guidelines and make sure it's being used to benefit everyone, not just a select few.
That's actually really empowering when you think about it. It means we're not just passengers on this AI train, we're the ones driving it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it all starts with each of us. It starts with learning about AI, understanding what it can and can't do, and talking about like what it means for our lives and our jobs.
So no more hiding under the covers and hoping this whole AI thing will just go away.
Uh-huh. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
We need to be, informed and involved and proactive. We got to ask the tough questions and challenge the assumptions and hold the people in charge accountable.
This conversation has really changed the way I think about this whole thing. I used to think of AI as this kind of scary thing, like a threat or something, but now I'm starting to see it as a tool, a really powerful tool that we can use to make things better.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about knowledge and open discussions. When you actually take the time to understand something, it's not so scary anymore. And it can actually be pretty exciting.
So, okay, let's say we embrace this idea of AI as a tool. Like, what could the world of work actually look like in, say, 10 or 20 years? What kind of jobs will people be doing?
Well, obviously, it's tough to predict the future with, complete accuracy. But if we look at what's happening now and kind of follow those trends, we can start to imagine some pretty interesting possibilities.
Ooh, give me a sneak peek. What do you see?
Well, I imagine a world where AI is doing a lot of the, boring and repetitive work that nobody really wants to do anyway.
Yeah.
And that frees up humans to focus on the stuff that we're really good at, like, creative problem solving and coming up with new ideas and connecting with each other. I think work could become a lot more flexible and personalized and, meaningful.
That sounds pretty amazing. So no more rush hour traffic and sitting in cubicles all day. Sign me up.
It could definitely happen. I think we'll see a lot more people working remotely and freelancing and starting their own businesses. Like, the lines between work life and personal life are probably going to get even blurrier.
So the traditional 9 to 5 office job could become a thing of the past.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. We might see a shift towards what they call the gig economy, where people work on different projects for different companies, kind of like short-term gigs. And that would let people really use their skills and do things they're actually passionate about.
That sounds pretty awesome for some people, but doesn't it also raise some questions about, job security and benefits and things like that?
Absolutely. Those are important things to think about. And it means we'll need to rethink our social safety nets and make sure people have, basic income and health care, even if they're not working a traditional job.
So it's not just about adapting to new technology, it's about adapting our whole society and like how we think about work and how we take care of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a huge shift, and it's going to take a lot of collaboration and new ideas and, honestly, a willingness to change the way we do things.
It's a lot to think about, but I have to say I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the future. It's not about being afraid of change, it's about embracing it and, making sure it's a change for the better.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that's really what we wanted to get across in this deep dive. The future of work is what we make it. So let's use this knowledge, to build something good, something that works for everyone.
This deep dive has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much and gone from being kind of scared of AI to like actually feeling excited about the possibilities.
That's awesome. It's always great to see that kind of transformation.
And to everyone listening out there, remember, this conversation doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and get involved because your voice matters.
The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create. So let's create something amazing.
I love that. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the future of work.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
And to all of you listening, stay curious, stay informed, and keep those brains buzzing because the future is full of possibilities.
Until next time, keep exploring.
That's a wrap, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the deep dive.